Yes, yes.
Yeah, we are.
The Fantastic Four. How you guys doing, buddy?
Doing great. Happy to be here where it's not so damn hot. Oh, it's so damn hot.
And happy to be here with good people.
Yeah, my house is 95.
These are my favorite people right now.
Man, I was out there at the nursery trying to buy some plants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Your boy's melting.
Do you and the
ice
missus
cube.
fight over air? Because we do at the Johnsons. I have to be cold. Yeah. I just turn it to 60 Willard.
Well,
she comes turning it off.
Well, this is a story that's as old as life itself. Like,
And the kids are looking like
air.
I don't.
Yes, we do.
Listen. I think we can do this without coming off as sexist. Most women want it warm, and most dudes want it cold. Like, that's every car I've ever been in.
Right.
Like, and I'm like,
Can you turn the air down?
I can't breathe. Like, what? Now we're rolling windows down on the freeway.
Oh, geez.
Oh, like it's 80 degrees outside.
Yeah. Oh, my
And
goodness.
people are wearing hoodies. I'm just like, I
can't do it. I can't sleep. And I was like, I hit a home run at the company softball game. I know I'm not having
how many
hot
times you
flashes.
say that?
Well, nobody's talked about it.
Yeah.
It got lost, so I'm going to bring it up.
While we're talking about the company softball game, and Guru's home run was, it's funny because Guru's like first 5 or 6 swings, we're like, oh my God, Guru, I hope no one's rolling tape on
you
it.
thought it was especially the first one, and someone was rolling tape on it.
But that will never get, the kids want, my kids want it, they'll never get it.
So
Of
after
course
like
not.
swing 6, it was like,
I had
all
it,
right,
kids.
Guru. It was pop, 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 like warning track. And then he got a 2-cheeker into it. It was like, all right, Guru, good for you.
And that was coming from, we call it the cafeteria. So that was more impressive.
No, it was impressive.
Yeah.
And then I get up there and I have my my little session and my pitcher.
Yeah.
I didn't get hurt.
Who was the worst player?
No, he just always looks like he's hurt.
No, we were
He's
on
not
air
hurt.
talking about that. We were on air today. You were pitching. We said you did a phenomenal job.
Oh, no, I didn't get hurt.
No, he just left.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He left because the ball got hit right in his face, and,
Right.
and the net
Right in the
saved
face.
him. Yeah, in the face. And
Is
the
that
net,
why you left?
The net
I think
saved
Dibs
him.
got
done.
hurt at
I'm
the
out.
end.
I'm out.
The net saved him, but he was like, "We're not doing this again."
We're not
That's
doing
it.
line drives.
You
Back to the mound.
You hit a line drive at my face.
Yeah.
My life flashed in front of my eyes.
I quit.
I'm leaving.
It's over.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I saw the whole thing.
I loved everybody's outing.
Who was the worst player that would have got sent down to public access radio after the game?
Bonte Hill. And
No,
I'll
see, I
put
don't
my
think
name on
nobody
it.
was bad. Are you
During
saying
batting
Bonte?
practice.
The ball went
Seriously.
to him 8 straight times, and he caught none of them.
My batting practice pitcher, Joe Shasky, he comes up to me before I start hitting, and he goes, hey,
I love Shaq.
hey, let's make sure we get Bonte involved. I said, you want a Bonte finder?
He peppered him.
Because I'm a bit of a batsman. I can hit the ball 80 to 85 feet,
we
but I
got
can
you.
hit it where I
Where he
want it to go. So Bonte's over at second, and I'm batting righty.
He's a lefty.
First pitch, inside out, bap to Bonte. 3-hopper, that's an error. Next pitch, outside pitch, Dibber steps across. 2-hopper, that's an error. Then I switch to lefty. You know, because I can slap it with the best.
You're amphibious.
I am, and I can swim. Inside pitch, pap to Bonte, line drive. It goes by him. Next one, lazy fly to Bonte. That's an error. He made Marco Luciano look like Ozzie
But he
Smith.
had the
Wildest thing ever. Luciano showed up to the event and goes, catch the ball. It was like, what? What's the matter?
Now, he has the height, the size. I wanted to see him at the dish, though. I wanted him to, because Big.
And how'd that go?
I didn't see it. I was late, yeah.
Oh, I love. See, this is
I don't
what
think it
used to do.
happened.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he took BP.
This was my main job in the clubhouse was to stir the pot, and I just like I
did.
guess something
No, you nailed it.
flash.
You nailed it.
Why
I
did
didn't
you-
know Bonte Hill spelled his name with 7 E's.
Wow.
I mean,
I wanted you to be
and they
there.
aren't silent either.
I'm a defender. We were all in sneakers, so it was even hard to hit.
Joe Shasky was not in sneakers.
Well, he's a pro.
Lucas Alexander wore stirrups.
Yeah, you're
our
right.
producer. He had tights and stirrups.
And we had Chris, the great Christie, pitch running for guys.
Sam Lubman thought he was in the lineup for the Giants that night. He thought he was
That
going
was the-
straight up. He was in
Lubman
uniform.
struck out.
Anyway.
If you ask for the demotion.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Last thing about, and I love you, Sammy.
I wanted you to be there. I wanted to
Yeah,
see
me
you
too.
rake.
These two
I
big
want to see a
time.
big
Last thing
leaguer
about me,
rake.
FP, is I was on first after I got a little base knock my first time
Like
up.
that
And
blue?
there's a line drive to left, and your boys, I'm huffing and puffing a second. I got forced out at second by a 5-year-old.
Oh, you saw that.
That's a true story.
Yeah, it happened.
And it wasn't close either.
Did Bonte catch it?
Bonte.
I don't remember all
He's
the
eating
airs.
pizza by then.
Yeah, I'm a I don't remember all the airs, but y'all took inventory. What you guys talking about today?
This is great. The softball game. That's it.
Stuff.
Give us a call if you're there.
Stuff. Larry's going to join us in about 45 minutes, and we'll get into some of this, the 49er stuff.
I'm down on Larry.
You're down on
He'll be in here Friday. He stood us up yesterday.
He did, didn't he?
He was working.
Well, I had your back again. Like, we came in, and he had stood you up, and so the guys were like, Larry no-showed on Guru.
Oh, did you let him? Okay,
do you want him on? No.
Yeah.
No.
Can't do that.
I love it.
The station is like, lose the number for the day.
We a brotherhood here at P. Yeah, and I'm the brother.
And this is the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Brandon Aiyuk, nothing to see here?
Well, certainly now. I mean, that's kind of what I want to get into. Like, I'm fascinated, and I get it. He's a great player, and we love Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah. So there's automatically no different than Nick Bosa last year or Debo the year before that. There's going to be stress surrounding these guys, but it's interesting to me why the 49ers haven't maybe earned more stripes with some of their fans in terms of like trusting this process. I don't want to hear somebody yell to Forrest Buckner. I get it. Nothing is a catch-all. Nothing is 100% of the time. And if you want to get mad at the things you get mad at on Monday morning during the season, that's different. As far as constructing a roster and taking care of their guys, don't really know any organizations.
FP just ran off the list of guys they've taken care of.
Like, and look at the roster that Shanahan and Lynch had when they arrived, and look at it now, and tell me, I don't want to go into the weeds. Well, what about this guy? Just look at the roster now and look at it then, and tell me you don't have a little faith in their roster construction. That's my only question.
Well, and look at the organization too. And I said this yesterday during our handoff thingy. Like they're in first class. They're not going to try to cut corners. They're going to be creative in the way they construct a contract, how it pertains to the cap, how it pertains to the person. And they're not. This isn't a cheap organization. They're all in to win number 6. So that's where I kind of. What do you think about Matos getting sent down? Mark Dibs.
I mean, he's been struggling. So there you go.
But he had one player of the week. He's young.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
3 weeks ago. What's he been 4 for 36
They quit throwing a fastball.
You know my old. I don't get like for me. Yeah. I don't really care how old you are. I don't get into play the kids, and I don't get into don't play the kids. I get into who's going to win the game today. I was a little surprised that he got sent down, but you were already tucking him into the 9 hole in the order. Yeah. He was not hitting. I heard you say it earlier today. The league sees, player of the week. They make one adjustment. He now can't hit. Yeah. Is it a little bit reactive and quick for our tastes? Sure. But he wasn't playing well. Yeah. You got games to win. I don't care how old you are. They got games to win.
FP was worried about his psyche, though. I was like, man, it's about the big club. He'll get over it.
Yeah. No doubt. I'm more worried about Brandon Aiyuk's psyche. And, you see, and I'm not that worried about it, but as we drag into, June and July and, all the chatter about you're missing OTAs and what's going to happen with Brandon Aiyuk. And boy, Ricky Pearsall looks really good. So, what's going to happen with Brandon Aiyuk? And you got Pittsburgh radio still talking about how, man, there are trade rumors. I mean, maybe something will happen. And Mike Silver's tweet yesterday about, here's one of the things that could happen. He could have to play on his 5th-year option, and maybe there's a chance that
but then
Aiyuk
could franchise him the next year if he does that. Like,
all that
why
stuff.
Would he do that?
He wouldn't, and they wouldn't. But it still lives in the minds of. And I'm sure if you're Brandon Aiyuk and you're sitting here on June 5th, you'd like to have your deal done and be in camp. And we saw the video earlier of him working out at some high school on a baseball field. I don't know what.
Dude, he was like making a catch.
The ball's thrown behind him.
It was behind him, but he got to the warning track. Don't run into the fence, Brandon.
Exactly. And where is he? We were all debating where he could be because he was born in Rockland, but he went to high school in Nevada, and I know he went to college in Arizona, so we were trying to figure out what baseball field that was. But, he clearly is sending that message to say, look, I'm putting in my work. I'm doing my thing. I'm Brandon Aiyuk out here.
This is my thing, and we're all human. And I don't know Brandon Aiyuk, but what I do know is when Debo, it was about him and his deal. When Bosa was up or Fred Warner, it was almost like the football world was about them. What I am intrigued by is young Brandon Aiyuk is watching this boom every other day with receivers getting the bag. And I want to know, and I tell my kids, be all you can be. How does he see himself? Does he look at this offense like, you know what? In this offense, we'll win, but I really can't put up those video game numbers, so pay me and I'll be fine. And we're going to find out. But Willard, I am like, Debo wasn't watching guys get the bag left and right, and I just wonder, and it's okay, where Aiyuk, how much he values what he's worth, especially with CD out there and Jamar Chase. I mean, and the Niners like, we love you, bud, but you ain't that.
Well, he thinks he is, and I don't know that he's wrong. I mean, this is my experience with pro athletes. What do you think Brandon is? Make up a number. Is he the 8th best in the game? Is he the 15th best in the game?
Top 10, 12.
8th is good. 8th is fair.
I would imagine
and that's a compliment.
That the top 10 receivers in the game.
In my view.
I think he has a chance to be the best.
Okay, but here's what I would say. The top 10 receivers in the world all think they're the best in the world. Who the hell doesn't? The top 10 point guards in the NBA, nobody's like, well, I'm not as good as Kyrie.
I'm better.
No, they all think they're the best in the game. That's the mindset. And I reject the second thing that made me think of, I sort of reject this idea that there's some sort of rub between the Niners and Brandon Aiyuk because they don't throw the ball as much as other teams. I don't think anybody cares about that. I think the Niners are well aware of how good Brandon is. And Brandon is well aware of how good it is that he's on the Niners. Like, I don't think receivers
we just
blow
talked about that.
The idea of being under Kyle Shanahan with a good quarterback. I don't think anybody blows that off. Every time someone tries to make some sort of something about the Niner locker room, I laugh. I mean, last week, remember that thing? Christian McCaffrey's had it with the games that Shanahan plays. And then you get a new contract and a sound clip from Christian who's like, this is the best place on earth. Nobody doesn't like what we're doing here. We love the teammates. We love the coaches. We love the staff. This is the vibe of the NFL. I think this is just flatly about money. That's it.
Right.
It's just about money. Brandon wants his. The Niners want to keep him and give him money. He wants a little bit more. They want to give a little bit less. That's just an employee in a company. I think it's as simple as that, and I think it gets done in August because that's when these things usually get done.
Yeah, and I do think that Justin Jefferson makes it a little bit more complicated because the ceiling got blown sky high, like the Wonka Vader. Talked about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when he goes through in the Wonka Vader and they blow through the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
That's Justin Jefferson right there playing the role of Charlie.
Who's the Oompa Loompas?
Charlie.
Who's the Oompa Loompas here? I love Oompa Loompas.
The Oompa Loompas probably Trent Williams and your various Brendel and Burford. Those guys would play the role of the Oompa Loompas in this analogy.
If you are wise, you'll listen to me.
Look at FP.
What do you get when your kid is a brat?
I love it. Were you a little bit Oompa Loompa-esque as a kid? Because I know that, I mean, you turned out to be a pro athlete and all the rest of it, because when I was a kid, I was super Oompa Loompa-esque.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by the First NorCal Credit Union.
Support that man. He's not a procrastinator. Yeah. Don't just because you have till 05. Is that
Dibs ain't going Devon.
Did you handle term papers that way?
Wow.
Mom, it's only Thursday and it's due Friday. I can start at 2 o'clock this morning.
Mom, let's be honest, and shout out Sue Dibley, rest in peace. You and I both know I'm going to junior college anyway, so even if I turn it in a week late, it's only down a grade, and this paper's going to be B level anyway, so my B becomes a C. Who gives a crap, Sue?
Yeah.
Oh, go to my room? Okay.
You're like, that's where I was heading.
This is like therapy.
Yeah.
I was the fourth of four kids. So,
get it out, dude.
And, Mikey 1.0 and Douglas and the Hurricane, my sister, they were such a nightmare that my parents were like, dude, stay out of jail, all right? Hands in the middle. Dibley's on 3. So the bar was so low.
I relate to this. You do get, whether it's as a kid or a parent, you get to a spot, and I think after the pandemic, this is happening more and more for families.
Right.
you can quickly get to a spot where you go grades, schmades. I do not give two rips what your grade is. Will you please stay mentally healthy?
Yeah.
You're going to have options when you graduate high school. You can do this 1,000 ways. I don't even know, is 4-year school, is that a good financial move? I don't even know if that makes sense.
Depends on how you navigate it.
I mean, I don't
Shout
even
out Joe Biden.
Everybody, right?
Take that loan.
No, but everyone's got their cap, and it's like, I'm going to here and there. It's like, I mean, good luck with your loans.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, lucky if your parents are bajillionaires.
Well.
But, I mean, gosh, you go to JC. You can go anywhere you want 2 years later.
Or if your parents
those are
get
facts.
divorced and, all of a sudden your kids are now going in on a single income, next thing you know, their college is paid for.
Wow.
So,
Daryl, how are you feeling?
shout out Broken Home.
Daryl, how are you feeling?
It just hit me in
Did you want to share anything with the group?
Yeah,
You're being very quiet over there.
Frank.
Daryl the
I'm an
second.
open book.
I tell him all the time, son, we thank you. You would not be at Santa Clara without your academic scholarship, which you earned.
Right.
And I beat him over the head of like, dude, that was a big deal. You're starting out the gates because if you had to worry about these pockets without the scholarship,
Santa
we would
Clara.
need some
Concernus River.
What is it, 80 grand a year?
Oh,
at
my,
least?
it's just out of control.
What are we doing?
And we pay a little something, but it's a smidgen compared to what's your
tidbit.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Shout out to my two kids that went to junior college for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I told them, wherever you graduate, you just say, I graduated from Cal Poly, I graduated from UCSB. Nobody ever cares about the first 2 years. So they saved dad money, 4 years of college money, 2 years of junior college.
Look at that.
I tell my
That was
kids,
my game plan, too.
I tell my kids, go to the 2 year and then just say, I graduated from Cal Poly. You don't even have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, great.
It's like Shohei's interpreter, right? Oh, I went to Riverside.
Exactly.
What's that? Not Imanaga. What's that guy's name?
Ippei.
Ippei. Matsuzaka. Matsuzaka.
Did
You guys talk about that? He just wore it. He just wore it.
Well, do you
Right.
not
It's
think
closed. Case closed on Shohei, but some poor kid for
You're
the
bothered
A's.
by him getting
Some
off.
poor kid for the A's that bet on baseball 3 years ago and bet $6 a bet got taken out of the clubhouse yesterday, and they're the biggest superstar in the game is directly associated with the guy in
Wait
a
a minute.
16
let's
Wait
speak
a
on
minute.
that then.
I heard your soundbite on KCBS yesterday, and
Yeah.
you said, I've got no sympathy for these guys.
Yeah, well, that one kind of that one's tough.
But that's not like the guy but
I mean,
done
he
radio
broke the
with
rules.
the last 2
He broke
days.
the rules, but man, 3 years ago, $6 bets, and he won $28, and he has to sit out for. I know the rules are the rules.
Aren't they posted in every clubhouse?
Articulo 21. You see it right when you walk in. Article 21.
So if I'm a
Spanish
womanizer
and
or I
English.
abuse
Yeah.
drugs or I have an alcohol problem, there's a shoulder to cry on from these leagues.
Right.
But if you gamble with the temptation that the leagues, because everything's, intertwined, I just don't like how there's no show, there's
I
no
don't know, man.
therapy.
Well,
there's
okay.
I understand you can't bet on your own, but we are just throwing these young men and women out like, oh, but I can do all this. And we'll talk to you, little. Come here.
Well, let's hold on.
That's the games
Let's-
are on balance.
What are we doing?
Let's act like everything is actually a disease, which all of these things you
Gambling
just
is one of the
mentioned,
biggest.
no doubt.
Losing is a disease.
But you don't need to gamble on baseball. I could argue that, right? Like if you're an addict,
all right.
if you're an addict,
Man.
right? Because you're saying alcohol, drugs,
Oh,
and then
man.
if you cry addiction, then the whole world. It's like Draymond screaming at refs.
Oh,
All of a sudden,
man.
it's like, well, it's an anger management, mental health problem. So now we need therapy.
Well, let me take it to the actual drug realm, because if you're in a state where you're, smoking crack cocaine, now you're going away for 20 years. But if you're just popping pills because you have all these prescriptions that the doctor's given you, and yet you're a junkie on that tip, well, we're going to get you help because that's okay. You had a prescription, but if you happen to be, a crack head or a crack junkie, well, now we're going to have to come down on you and give you 20 to 30 years in prison.
Let me go back. Hold on,
Damn.
FP. Hang
That's
on.
what happens when you get C's.
I brought it home.
Do you not buy the
And D's.
Ippei? Do you not take the Ippei and Shohei thing at face value?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
But you understand how
I don't
America
either.
works, right?
You don't.
No.
And you know why he got off.
Dude, if the
you
guy
need a
that
fall
lives with
guy.
me is my best friend and he's betting millions and
doubt,
millions and
FP.
millions, I know.
right,
I know.
okay, all right.
We all got. Imagine your best friends right now. that you lived with in college. and you
Overseeing
live with
your
them.
money. And
I
you
don't even know. You just know. You
But
know
why
these
would-
things. That's
why
not a
would-
big secret.
I agree with you completely, but why would Shohei just sit there and let that happen and not be involved and just be like, it's fine? That's weird. The
Because
whole
he
thing
came
is
out
so
and said
weird.
he knew what it was about. He admitted it. Shohei did.
Well, then, look, the whole timeline of the thing. There's
no,
no way that it. There's no way that it all just went down the way that we're now being told.
That's all.
There's no way.
America.
But why would Shohei? I don't know that he was like directly involved. Even if he knew, why did he just sit there and be like, "Sure, you can have $4 million
Maybe
out
they
of my
should have
account"?
made him go play minor league basketball. Like Jordan had to play minor league baseball.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, that because oh boy.
Well, and I think about, Greg Anderson going and taking the fall for Barry Bonds, and everyone speculates about what he
And
got
never snitched.
on the tail end. No,
Yeah,
he never said anything.
never.
And so Ipe
Damn.
goes to prison for, I don't even know if the sentence has come out yet, but
I thought it was like 33 years.
Yeah.
and he'll end up doing half of that,
Sure.
if that.
But no,
And
this
then-
is the stint
You
though.
make
This
it
is
sound like
yeah,
that.
they got him though.
So
Dibs.
16. No
yeah,
big
like
deal.
it's
I mean,
just a
years.
decade and a half.
How long have we been doing
more.
this show?
16 years.
Yeah,
so
boy.
it feels like.
What a stretch. You can do if you commit the crime, you can do the time. But I agree with
guess.
you, FP. I do think that there's more to it than just,
I do.
oh, my guy robbed me, and I had no idea. Anyway, I'm going to go 2 for 5 tonight with 2 homers because
Yeah, no,
I'm
it doesn't-
Shohei.
And then
Doesn't make
Shohei's
sense.
other best friend, Fletcher, on the team, they were boys. That guy got implicated on betting with the same guy that Ipe was betting with.
Yep.
So 2 of Shohei's best friends were gamblers, but Shohei wasn't. I'm just saying.
Wink,
I
wink.
don't know
Yeah.
anything. I haven't heard anything. But it's just weird.
But Willard, my bigger point is have some type of don't just because it's gambling throw these guys under the and not check or gals. There should be some, and you're saying therapy, but there should be some. You know what? You're in the system,
But you get it. You get it. You understand the line. The
If
line,
you bet on your own team,
Well,
I
the-
get that. You're done.
But the line is, even if you're betting on a different team, that's a very, very small fraternity. And I'm not trying to be corporate here, but there is a different line between someone who's betting on baseball and someone who has got a drug problem, because the drug problem is not bringing the integrity of the game into question. That's all. I mean,
Unless you're Doc Ellis and you're throwing a perfect game on acid.
allegedly.
Right.
I mean, that's
Ellis
incredible.
did, so.
The leagues are completely hypocritical. You're not wrong.
Okay.
Like, oh my gosh, you have to be like.
Willard got popped for gambling. Brought to you by
DraftKings.
BetQL. That's like, wow.
No, total hypocrisy, but you do also get that all of these other problems don't. I mean,
It's
that's
affected-
why. Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
There's a lot of drug problems in the 90s that affected the integrity of the game.
Well,
Dude, Tim Rock Reigns stole 80 bases one
Dave
year.
Parker.
Vials in his back pocket.
In their socks.
but wait, the
That's why he went head
integrity,
first.
the
Be
integrity
prepared.
of
I
the
would say
game,
be prepared.
the outcome of the game, but not the integrity. No one's throwing the game because they're on coke, right?
No, but the integrity is
steroids-
affected by the outcome.
Steroids could have affected the integrity of the game, one would argue.
Again, it could affect the outcome. I don't know, like it's
integrity.
not, but the
The record
integrity, the
books.
gambling, the idea against the gambling is the idea that people
Right.
are purposefully losing games or playing harder in certain games.
Yes.
How prevalent was greenies in your day when you played?
I'll just
Was that
say
a real thing?
Extremely prevalent.
Wow, man.
If you weren't
Shout out
taking him,
Mike.
it was frowned upon.
Dude, wow, man.
Like, he's not trying. Willard's not taking him. He's not trying.
I believe that. Like, he ain't trying.
Day game after a night game?
Allegedly.
That's what I heard. It did.
Perked up in a hurry right
Day
there.
game after the night game.
I wish
Right?
I had one for these shows.
Wow, boy.
Seriously.
I'm doing a good job.
Speaking of performance enhancers, and I'm going to save this for the show. I had one of the most breathtaking celebrity encounters of my entire life this morning.
You're welcome.
Steph Curry.
The dibber in the break room.
Coming up.
It's
a tease.
Oh, it's a tease.
What's going on?
Because I
It's
didn't
a
like how you
tease.
did the Debo thing and tucked it. It was great.
What do you mean?
When I got in the car before
not
I even heard it. Like, damn, me and Steiny would have played this.
I'm not allowed to tease
I
our
got
own
you.
show.
I got
We
you.
got ratings,
I was
too.
tuned in. All of us do. Oh boy. All right, Grandy said we can go.
All right.
All right. I will be listening.
See you later.
Do you know how many, by the way, I just want to say, do you know how many drops this station has gotten because you're leading this week? I mean, they're already
Now
using.
that's a backhanded like
No, it's not.
boy,
To
we
Roger
just-
Federer.
No, it means you're an original.
I do want to say something.
I already heard this morning, time to do the legal, and now they're using that every morning at the top of every
I don't
hour.
even know what you're talking about. That's what's so sad.
If I can just speak to it, and I've said it to you off air, to your face many times.
This is scary.
You are the Steph Curry of the station.
You're one of a kind.
You are
Well,
one of
a
one.
kind, I'll tell you.
You are the most beloved,
Please,
and you're the
I
chef.
hit the home run. That's enough.
And you strike out 3 times, but it's
time for the legal.
You go 1 for 4 with a homer and 3 runs batted in, and we win 3-2.
You do care too much about our sports outings.
No,
I will say that.
To be honest,
you care too much.
I love you
if
for
we
it.
were
playing volleyball,
he's playing
the fact
full
that I
speed.
saw you, Christy, Bonte, Shasky, Lucas, I'm being real. All the boss outside of work.
It's beautiful.
There's no dollar amount
but
you put on that.
But
you need more of it.
You
Hey,
scored,
you too,
Oh, yeah.
You scored on me at Chase Center, and I didn't even know we were playing. I'm just like,
I'll send you the video.
Oh, look, there's Gooey's having fun.
This was one of my top moments in 20.
Repurposed the content 88 times since then. Like I got schooled. I'm like, I'm just standing here.
You got schooled.
I got served.
You got owned.
I didn't even know. I was like,
He put one in Willard's eye.
Hey, what? Yeah, real quick before I leave, you did put some mustard on some balls you hit. Yeah, Jeff Kent like. I was like, look at Will played back in the day.
I can fly out to the middle of left field with the best of them.
Dude.
We'll be listening.
All of a sudden, he wants to stay. Now we're talking about him.
No, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying. FP, help me.
Just say the name of the
I feel
station.
like you're the guy that runs over the catcher in the company softball game. You're just going to plow into him like Pete Rose and Ray Fosse.
Yeah, I'll play hard.
All right, see you guys never. I'm going. It's 80 degrees out. Have fun.
It's so good.
all right.
Get on your scooter.
Sun's out, guns out on 95.7 The Game.
Well played.
Time for the league.